Prepared for Axe, guys. I have another Aura's OU Wi-Fi battle coming at you today. Today's battle is against Billy, and that is true. I am using that nice and powerful Mega Blastoise. Somebody gave it to me, and I was thinking, well, you know what? I haven't used Mega Blastoise at all in competitive play, and even in X and Y, I haven't used it. So I was thinking, okay, we'll use it. We'll see what all the hype is about. But I kind of predicted him to lead off with Galvantula, and that's why I ended up leading off with Garchomp and not Masquerain. Because if he decides to go for Sticky Webs first turn, I can at least get a little bit of damage off on this Galvantula. That is exactly what happened, and he actually ends up just staying in, saying, you know what, Galvantula's death fodder at this point. And this ends up working out perfectly for me, because he pretty much wasted his Galvantula. He's got his Sticky Webs up. That is true. Excuse me, I had to burp. That is true, but he ends up going out into Skarmory, and that, I'm a Garchomp, and I'm locked into Dragon Claw. I can't do anything to Skarmory, so of course I'm going to switch. I'm going to go out into my Excadrill. I'm going to get caught in the Sticky Web, of course, but I'm going to be spinning things away and these Stealth Rocks away on this next turn here, and so he essentially wasted about 3 turns and lost a Pokemon, and for pretty much nothing. I got that all for free, so that is perfectly fine with me. You can't. Sometimes it's better not to take the time and get your hazards up. Sometimes it's better to just say, okay, I'd rather get some damage off than get my hazards up, because something just made a noise. I think it was my phone. My phone. Okay, it was my phone. Anyways, I'm gonna go out my Latios here as I got War-Winded out, and into Garchomp, and then I'm gonna switch, and then he gets his Stealth Rocks back up. Of course, I'm going to be going for HP Fire. I don't entirely know how this particular opponent plays, so sometimes you just have to make the dumbest plays possible, or the most obvious plays possible, just to see, like, okay, is my opponent ready for this? Are they capable of thinking this way? And he obviously was. Goes out into Politoed and predicts me quite well. Of course, I get the critical hit, but it doesn't do anything, because that is a Politoed in the rain, and it is one fat, sucking piece of garbage. Oh, this Politoed, this battle. You'll see what I'm talking about. He's going to go for Ice Beam, which is fine. This particular, one of the reasons why I ended up going out on my Blastoise. I did not name this thing. I did not make this thing. I didn't name it Arm Cannons. Obviously, I wouldn't do something. I probably would have named this thing Shell Shocker, to be honest. And if any of you know what I'm talking about, props to you. Props to you. If you know about Shell Shocker, you're the true Gen 1er. You are the real MVP, and I got you. I got you, fam. But if you don't know Shell Shocker, you need to go watch the first Pokemon movie, because I don't know what you're doing with your life if you haven't seen that. But ends up going out into Ludicolo as I go for Dark Pulse. Of course, I am going to be switching out here. I do not want to lose my Blastoise to a Giga Drain. That would be really, really bad. And I actually just end up going out into Garchomp. And the reason being, Ludicolo does have Swift Swim, and it's decently fast. It actually has around, if you go by base stats, it puts Ludicolo at base 140 speed. But with Garchomp and a a Choice Scarf, excuse me, I don't know what the hell I'm thinking here. I actually end up outspeeding this Ludicolo, and I ended up going for Stone Edge, just because if he switches out into Skarmory, I can at least get some damage off. Whereas if I go for Outrage, then I get locked in, and then it's just a waste of time, and it's really, really stupid. So I ended up going for Stone Edge. I thought it would be the best option. And obviously it was not. But I'm going to take this opportunity to go out into my Terrakion. Same kind of deal. I end up outspeeding this Ludicolo because I am Scarfed. I'm just going to go for another Stone Edge, because I really do not want him going out to that Skarmory. If he goes out into the Skarmory, it's going to be a bad day for me, and it's just going to be turns wasted that I could have been doing something else. So I end up going for Stone Edge. He's going to actually take this opportunity to go out into his Swampert. And I'm thinking, oh god, this thing's going to be scary. I was really thinking that it was going to be Mega, and it actually was not. And that is why I ended up going out my Masquerain, even though Stealth Rocks were up. I really wanted to get that Intimidate off. And he actually ends up going for Earthquake, which worked out quite well for me. I thought he would end up going for Waterfall. But he is going to end up switching out here and going on out into his Politoed again, which is fine with me. Masquerain's, it's decently powerful. I can get my Sticky Webs up now. I can take this opportunity and do that, and then get some damage off later on. Even if it's a little bit of damage, damage is still damage, and you can't complain about it. If you do 5% to a Pokemon, you can't complain, because that's damage. Damage is damage. You shouldn't complain about it. But I'm going to go for Bug Buzz, like I said, just to get some damage off. He ends up going for Ice Beam. I actually end up living with 1 HP, the nice and solid 1 HP, and that is going to allow me to get another Bug Buzz off on this Politoed and get a little bit more damage off, and actually get a special defense drop as well. So that is always nice, always bueno, and he is going to finish me off with another Ice Beam right to the forehead here. So Masquerade did what it needed to do. It even did more than it needed to do. It got the sticky webs up, and I got 2 turns worth of damage off and a special defense drop. But I'm just going to go out to my Terrakion. I'm thinking it's really the only thing I can do at this point. Ends up switching his Politoed out and goes on out into the beloved Skarmory, this thing that I did not want him to go out into. I do not like this thing. I hate Skarmory. If you go back to like some of my original battles like from X and Y, I had a Skarmory, and I talked about how much I love that thing, and I'm thinking, oh my god, what was I thinking? Skarmory is a good Pokemon, and don't get me wrong, it's been part of Scar and Bliss Core for a long time, and I mean it is a part of Scar and Bliss Core for a reason, because it's very, very good. But it is one of the most annoying Pokemon to go up against if you aren't, if you aren't prepping for it, then you're just gonna get fucked, and it's so annoying. But he actually ends up switching out here into the Swampert, which is fine. I actually end up going for Surf, and the reason I did, it's raining for one. He doesn't really have anything that resists it anymore now that his Ludicolo is gone. He does still have his Politoed, but it's weak enough where I'm pretty sure at least a Surf would kill. So Swampert 2-hit KO easy. Choice Specs, Surf in the rain. It's not living, but he ends up going out to Politoed here. I really wish that I had Stealth Rocks on my team because it definitely would have helped right here. I actually don't think this Surf ended up killing. This Politoed is way fat. Way fat. I think it's actually ended up I think it ended up being Assault Vested. So he's gonna hit me with an Ice Beam here. It's gonna do a decent amount of damage. It's nothing spectacular. It's not like my modest Politoed. My modest Politoed can 2-hit KO Latioses with Ice Beam, no problem. But this Surf is finally going to be enough to take out that Politoed. So the Politoed's gone. No more rain from him, and that is always exciting, always bueno. But he ends up going out into this Politoed, this Slowbro over here, and I'm thinking, oh god, this thing. Now I have to deal with Skarmory and this thing. But I'm going to go out to my Excadrill, and the reason being is, like, if he kills my Excadrill, he kills my Excadrill, and then I just go back out to Latios. But if he goes for, like, Calm Mind or something like that, then I can just chill, relax, all cool, and, get a Swords Dance up and do some damage. Because this Excadrill, a lot of you have seen this Excadrill before, but it's very, very bulky. Very, very bulky. So I'm going to go ahead and go for a Swords Dance, get to my +2 real quick, get nice and strong and fast, and hits me with the Scald. And look, I live. It's a 2-hit KO, obviously, but I lived. And I wasn't even at full HP. And I live, so Excadrill coming through. So it is going to allow me to get an Earthquake off, a nice and +2 Earthquake at that. He is going to be finishing me off with another Scald here. So, I can't complain. I got some damage off. Honestly, like, sometimes it's better to just go for 2 Earthquakes than it is to go for like a +2 Earthquake. It's not always going to be better, because like if you min roll with a +2 and then you get like 2 Ravage rolls with 2 Earthquakes, you're going to be doing more damage with those 2 Earthquakes than you are with, So it's all a matter of really like how lucky you are. To be honest, it all comes down to luck. But most of the time, you're going to be better off going for 2 of the same move rather than setting up and going for 1 of that move. Generally, going for 2 is better. But Blastoise coming through, taking out Politoed, getting some nice damage off on the Skarmory right here. Skarmory actually ends up getting confused, and Skarmory is confused. Actually breaks through the confusion and is able to hit me with a Brave Bird, and I'm not too upset about it, to be honest, because Blastoise is fat. It is fat, man. Look at it. So one more Water Pulse that is actually going to be enough to take out that Skarmory, and I think, yep, that is the end of the match. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new and you don't want to miss any more great Wi-Fi battles like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It really, really does help me out. And you know what? You're not going to miss out on any more great content in the future. I've got a Let's Play that will be starting back up this upcoming week. Once I get back in my dorm, I don't have any of my files on this computer, but they will, once I get back in the dorm, everything will be started up again. We'll get that new schedule going. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this battle and all that good stuff, and we will see you back again tomorrow with another OU Wi-Fi battle. Peace out, guys, and may the hacks be with you.